know. We all want to change the world.
Okay, we all want to change the world. They say you want a revolution. A revolution. But how do you go about changing the world without waking too many people up that don't want your kind of change? The key is in the lyrics. Listen.
You tell me that it's evolution. Well, you know, we all want to change the world. But when you talk about destruction, don't you know that you can count me out?
Revolution. Revolution. That leads to destruction. You can count me out of a revolution because that is destruction. But progressives know. You drop the one letter and make it evolution, and I'm there. They lay the plan out nicely.
Say you change the Constitution. Well, you know, we all want to change your head.
The Beatles knew. They knew opening defending Mao or attacking the Constitution would be suicidal. You can't change it. You can't have a revolution. But you can make the Constitution evolve. You can make it a, what is it the progressives said around the turn of the century? A living document. Evolution. Evolution, not revolution. Slowly, step by step. You know what? If I told you I wanted to get from here to here, you'd say, no, I'm sorry, I'm over here. But if I said, no, don't worry, we're A, B, C, D, pretty soon I could slow down, I could stop. For a while we could look the other way. We'd be at M. And I'm going to P, Q, R, S. And pretty soon we're at Z. Evolution. Progressives had to continue to follow that playbook. If they had, we may have never known that we were right on the doorstep of Z. But then they became arrogant and impatient, either believing that their movement had progressed to the point where it just couldn't be stopped, or because there is absolutely no diversity of opinion in their circles. They all think the same way. They're all from radical 60 background. So Obama moved ahead, light speed with his agenda. And if not for appointing this guy, an avowed communist, Van Jones, a guy who left the White House, if it wasn't for this one, Anita Dunn, singing the praises of Chairman Mao, one for her. If it wasn't for his anti-capitalist manufacturing czar, where power, he agrees with Mao, it comes from the barrel of a gun, that the free market system and capitalism is dead. If it wasn't for the arrogance of Andy Stern, the most frequent visitor at the White House, anti-capitalist. If it wasn't for John Holdren, people on this show may not have known. You may not have known. But now we do know. It's not a revolution, it's evolution. I want to make it clear for any professors who might be watching who are still believing this bullcrap that they keep teaching every day. No one on this program is saying this administration is setting out to commit atrocities in America. What we are saying is the pattern repeats itself, and we must be vigilant and watch for warning signs like Andy Stern.
We're trying to use the power of persuasion, and if that doesn't work, we're going to use the persuasion of power.
Got it? The guy who said workers of the world unite is no longer a slogan anymore. We'll use the power of persuasion. And if not, bada bing. Is that a threat, Andy Stern? Our founders knew too much government is never desirable. It never will bring you more freedom. The people in this administration have shown us certain warning signs, and isn't it stupid of us to ignore those signs? It doesn't mean that that's where the road is going to end up. It just means there's a warning sign here. Careful, hazard ahead. But don't worry, the danger really is only heightened when you couple radical revolutionary ideas with arrogance. I think the president was right when he said this isn't 1994. Heck, it's not 1934, it's not 1994. What was it he said the difference was? Oh yeah, that's right. We have him, Barack Obama. If we are not careful, America, their arrogance will not only be their undoing, which it already has, but if we're not careful, it will be ours as well.
You'll never guess who is heading up the commission that's investigating the financial crisis. Glenn reveals it with a blackboard next.
When government interferes and overregulates, there is inevitably a trail of unintended consequences left in its path, usually wreckage. Like when government tried to institute fairness in home lending. Everybody deserves a home. That's what both the Republicans and the Democrats said. Everybody. It's the American dream. No, it is not. Well, what did they do when they said that was the American dream? They decided, well, let's loosen up some of the requirements for home loans. You know what I mean? Banks, you don't need ID or anything else. People who really couldn't afford homes, oh, they bought them. Shockingly now, these people are defaulting, and we're currently paying the price for it. But don't worry. Once again, government, they created the problem. They're here to save the day now. President Obama wants to solve these problems with the banking industry by instituting major bank reforms. His solution? We ought to cap the size and trading activity of banks, make them smaller. Oh. Well, everybody loves the plan, at least they do in Europe. Of course, the Frenchman and the Brits don't want to actually commit to doing that plan. I mean, they're applauding us for getting rid of those big evil banks, you betcha. The French are saying, yes, that is right, you should do that yourself. This is like Honda congratulating GM on going green because, you know, GM comes out and says, we're going to make only cars and we're going to sell cars that run 296 miles a gallon and you got to plug it in at night. Nobody's going to buy those things. What do you think? Honda would say, oh, no, you guys shouldn't do that. Oh, no, that wouldn't be fair. Of course Honda's going to say, yeah, you keep going. It's impossible to sell cars like that. That's what's happening here. Bravo, bravo, says the French. That sentiment is not shared here in America. Senior Wall Street bankers now are headed to the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, to lobby against the plan. And it's not just this plan investors hate. This is incredible. Bloomberg polled its subscribers. 77% say President is anti-business. 81% say they're not confident or even somewhat confident in the president's ability to handle a financial crisis. That's hard for me to believe. The community organizer who told America he could stop the oceans from rising if we just inflated our car tires doesn't know how to solve the economy problem? You don't say. So why would we pursue an agenda that our friends in Europe all love but won't do? An agenda that the overwhelming majority of Americans are against and the business community is against. Does it make sense to you? Yeah, me neither. Until I realized you just have to follow the progressive circle of influence. Because here it is. Here's the president. We've got a problem. Oh, no, we've got a problem we've got to solve. Right? Okay, so what does he do? He appoints somebody to look into it. Phil Angelides. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Phil, you get to the bottom. Yes, sir, Mr. President, right away. So he comes up with a plan. He and the president sell it. Well, who's over now in Europe? George Soros is fantastic. He's in Davos pitching for it now. Soros is practically the only investor that is still on board with Obama's bank plan. Why? Let's follow the circle of influence. The president, our buddy Phil, just serving you. Soros has the Tides Foundation. He heavily donates to this. It's great. And one of the biggest projects in the Tides Foundation that he gives tons of money to is the Apollo Alliance. The Apollo Alliance, remember him? Creating green jobs. That's what he did. Oh, we got Jeff Jones here. He was part of the Weather Underground. I like this picture because in case you don't, I mean, let's say something bad happens, you can always check the glasses for his fingerprints. This was taken, you know, when he was blowing things up with this guy in the 60s. Okay, so wait a minute, hold it, there's something missing. Oh, I remember what it is. This is so weird.